Perfect. Yeah. So, Lewis, thank you very much for taking the time. This means a lot, right? Because at the end of the day, we are building systems for people like yourself, that want to prove that you guys did a great job. And we always don't get to talk to every single user of ours, right? Because we really want to talk to every single one of them and get their feedback. Is it really working? That's very important for us. So, the analogy that I would like to use is that we build race cars, right? But we don't get to drive them. You guys are the ones that are driving them. So that's a lot more fun. So, from that sense, if you could please, my name is Pugash Shankar. I'm the a guy that started this company and developed the product architecture and all that. So, if you could please introduce yourself, and if you could please, introduce your role and the company and all that, we can get started there.
Yeah, my name is Louis Contento. I work for NFI. I am a operations manager here. The building that I'm currently in, we've actually got 4 different customers.
Okay.
Some of our buildings are dedicated customers, so they'll only have one. And I'm a public account, so I've got multiple different customers, and it's great that we can with the LoadProof, we can use that system for the multiple different customers. They can all have their own logins, so it's been great for each one of those customers.
Okay. So what are the what was the exact problem that you guys had, and you thought, what, hey man, I gotta have something like this, and what was that exact problem that you were trying to solve?
A couple of them actually. So part of it, one of our bigger customers in this facility, they had been receiving a lot of discrepancies from their customers that were shipping these items to. And what was going on was we were shipping everything out in full. We were auditing it just on a piece of paper,
Okay.
but the customer was still coming back to our customer and saying that they're missing 32 cases of this and 10 cases of this. So what we started doing was we implemented LoadProof into our everyday loads, going out and also inbound. So I'll touch on that. But for our outbounds, this was the majority of the reason why we went ahead and did it.
Okay.
So what we started doing was when we load 2 pallets, we would take a picture of the load. We'd load the next 2 pallets, take a picture, so on and so forth until the trailer's completed. That way, our customer can go back through, look at their order number, and say, okay, yep, I see this case, this case, this case. And then once we get down to like our partial pallet picks, we call them case picks. We take detailed pictures of those pallets, and then that way the customer can go back and say, well, no, I see the cases that are on these pallets, so they can then go back to their customers and say, hey, there really isn't a discrepancy, and we can see that. And they can help mitigate some of those claims and lost revenue for them, which also in turn helps us. That was the outbound side. So then going over to the inbound side of what we do, anytime we have any trailers that come from some of our trailers actually come from overseas,
Okay.
Where they are manufactured, and they also come from domestic producers as well.
Yep.
So what we do with the inbound side of it is if there's any quality issues,
Yep.
We will take pictures of those pallets,
Yep.
and it's great that we can just check mark that it's a quality issue. And
Yep.
then once we finish finalizing the LoadProof, the pictures, all the information that's needed,
Yep.
once we hit save, it automatically sends a email to the customer saying, hey, there was a quality issue.
Wow.
And they can open it up immediately and say, okay, yep, I see what's going on.
Nice.
They already know that we're going to have some damages, and that they know that it's not on us. It's on the vendors that are producing the product and sending it to us. So it's helped us save quite a bit of discrepancies on inventory. So it's been great on both the inbound and outbound side for that customer, as well as some of the other customers in the building. The other customers that we've got, the majority of what we do for what we use LoadProof for that one is like if we ever have any issues with understanding what an item is for our customer,
Yeah.
we'll take pictures of those items and say, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
Is this item or is it this item? And then
Yep.
they can respond because that email automatically gets sent to them. They
Yep.
can respond back to us quickly and in a very timely manner and say, this is the item. This is how it should be received. If it's a bag of 10, is that 10? Is that 1 unit or is that 10 units? So those questions we can get answered extremely quickly, and with pictures. So it's been great for the multiple customers that we have in this building.
Great. So how did you guys find out about LoadProof, and how did you know, hey, LoadProof will solve these problems that we are having?
Actually, quite a few NFI sites use it.
Okay.
I know so I started a couple years ago, and about 2 years ago, I moved to our travel team. So I went to a couple different areas of the country and got to actually go into facilities and help support them, help train those the NFI employees that are there.
Yep.
And that was one of the things that the customer was like, "Hey, I want proof that these loads are going out correctly." And so we started looking into it. And somebody from the NFI side said, "Hey, I've heard of this app, LoadProof." So we started looking into it. That customer absolutely loved the idea, so we started implementing it. That's the first time I saw it.
Okay.
But I know of quite a few other sites within NFI that have it. We've got over 400 sites across the United States.
Okay.
So I know of at least 10 that are using LoadProof.
Yeah, absolutely.
That I've been to.
Yeah, yeah. I think more than 10 we are supporting.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. I know personally of those. So.
Great, fantastic. So, what was life, without LoadProof, right? Before, you guys implemented LoadProof, how was it like, and, how is it after, if you could please talk about that change, and, hopefully life is better, right? I mean, if you could please talk about that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like I was talking about with those discrepancies on the loads on our outbound side,
Yep.
we had no way of proving that we sent out what we said we sent out.
Yeah.
All we had was a packing list that we were verifying by hand.
Yep.
We called those the white glove customers.
Yeah.
And we were verifying every single packing list by hand. We still
Yep.
do that.
Yep.
But now we've got LoadProof to go along with it, and the customer can now go to their customer and say, "Hey, I've got a packing list, and I've got pictures of the load as it's going out." So
Yep.
it's a much easier way for, instead of us compiling all this data and putting it somewhere into a spreadsheet and then trying to send it out every day to the customer. That would be a huge file. This is great to where it's just all one centralized place that the customer can have access to.
Yep.
Our site has access to it as well. I know the customer only has a certain amount of access.
Yep.
And that's great that we can set that. We can say, okay, I want one of our leads at our facility to be able to take pictures, but only take pictures. And then
Yep.
maybe the supervisor, we can say, hey, they can take pictures, they can adjust things within
Yep.
LoadProof, they can add and take away user roles. So that's definitely been our largest part there. That's been great for us.
Before and after. Before it was very painful, and now you can just go into LoadProof, find the photos, documents in few minutes, few seconds, and then share it with them.
Yep. Yeah, especially the customer are loving it.
Great. And what are some of the key benefits? If you could please list the benefits, both on the outbound side as well as inbound side. What are some of the key benefits?
So it's definitely, for the inbound side, it's definitely helped us with proving vendor damages.
Yep.
Because we have a certain percentage of shrink that we are allowed.
Yeah.
And without those pictures, it was hard for us to go to the customer and say, hey, these were all damaged by either the vendor or it was the driver that was driving here.
Yeah.
So that's not on us.
Yeah.
Before it would be difficult to say, hey, this came in because we didn't have that LoadProof to say, hey, and then that email immediately gets sent to the customer before you even unload the truck. Because before we were taking pictures of it, but we were taking pictures of it once it was on the dock. So then they're like, well, you've already touched it.
Yep.
There's potential that you damaged it, which wasn't the case.
Good.
But now that we have LoadProof, we've got these tablets. We're able to go outside in the trailers, take pictures of all of the damaged cases and damaged pallets. So it's definitely helped our shrink numbers.
Okay.
For inventory.
Yeah.
And then on the outbound side, it's actually helped our customer more than it has helped us.
Okay.
But it's definitely saved the customer quite a bit of money on some of the fraudulent claims that are happening for their customers.
Okay, great. And what about how much time you guys spent before LoadProof was implemented? If somebody reported an issue, somebody reported damage or a short or something else, right? How much time you guys spent at that time versus how much time you're spending now?
I couldn't even put a number on the time that we were spending before. It was a lot. We definitely took quite a bit of extra time to take pictures and then and unfortunately with our emails that we send out, it only allows us to put a certain amount of data usage into there.
Okay.
So we can only put like 1 or 2 pictures before it maxed out the limit, and we
Yeah.
weren't able to send those emails to the customer.
Exactly.
So we'd have to send 10.
The emails
12.
would get stuck, right? I mean, in the IT, inbound exchange server, email server, it'll get stuck. So that was, yeah, okay, that's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, we can. I mean, we can take. I think there's a cap on the amount of pictures, but I mean, it's. I've never reached it. So everything that we've been doing, it's been great. We haven't had any issues with the amount of pictures that we have to go in.
Okay.
And then it sends the email saying, hey, this is the load. And then that's when the customer can go in and take a look at all the pictures that we've taken for them.
Great. So that is very useful, in terms of giving them visibility. So do you guys do that for every single customer, or is it like only for certain customers?
For our building, we've got 3 customers that we use it for.
Okay.
The 4th one is just it's pretty much a cross dock.
Okay.
So we just take pallets from one trailer, put it on another.
Pallet cross dock.
They
okay.
don't.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't really care. I mean, whatever they receive, they receive. So we don't really use it for that one. But the other 3 customers, the one, it's mainly just for items, for us to be able to understand what their item is.
Yeah.
And then this is actually a new customer for us, so we're starting to ship out for them. So we'll start to implement LoadProof on the outbounds as well.
Okay.
And then our main customer in this building is the one that I've mostly been talking about with those inbound and outbound pictures that we're taking.
Yep.
And then we've got another one that we take pictures of any damaged pallets that come in so that they can see it, and not just take a couple pictures on our cell phones and put them into an email, because like I was saying before, there's not enough space in those emails to be able to put multiple pictures.
Correct. And when you have a lot of ability to capture a lot of photos, you can tell the story much better way versus just attaching 2 photos. Great. So how easy was it to implement, right? I mean, there are two aspects. One is setting up a system from a technical perspective. That's one thing, and then people really embracing it, understanding it. Hey man, I gotta do this, right? I mean, there is a little bit of a change management. So if you could please talk about that from a system perspective, how easy was it to set up, and from a people perspective, how easy was it to get it going, right?
We didn't have any issues whatsoever. I can't remember the gentleman's name that helped us set it up, but we scheduled a call. I mean, it took, we probably scheduled an hour call. It probably took all of 30 minutes.
Okay.
And he helped us set up all of the users within our site, and then gave us the instructions and gave us the tools on how to set up anybody else, like customers, how to set up those direct emails going to those customers. So, I mean, it was extremely easy for our site to get it set up.
Yep.
And then once we got those tablets, I mean, we just downloaded the app and then was able to log in, and nobody really had any issues because it's very straightforward. You can build it to what you need, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So some of our customers have some information that other customers don't.
Yeah.
So we're able to adjust it to what's needed, which is awesome. And it took the associates no time at all to understand what was needed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either an order number, trailer number. So it spells it out what exactly goes into each field.
Correct.
And they're able to, most of them are actually able to figure it out by themselves. So it's great.
So there wasn't like you guys, I mean, it looks like, there were, it looks like people bought into it pretty, soon. It wasn't like, hey, I'm not going to do it, or why the heck I have to do it. We didn't do it all along, and now you're asking me to do it. Why do I have to do it? It's not like that, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, it made sense to them. I mean, we always talk about the why behind everything.
Okay.
So, I mean, we explained it to them just a little bit.
Okay.
We've got a great team, especially, so that helps.
Yeah.
But it also helps that the LoadProof app is just very user friendly.
Correct.
It's easy to set up as well. So I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to set it up either. So that's what's great about it.
Correct.
You can adjust it and modify it to the site needs, which is great.
Great, fantastic. What was, just approximately, right? Very, very high level. What is, what is the, dollar savings that you guys got, approximately, very high level?
So for the shrink allowance that we had before, we were with the one customer for vendor damages not being able to uh, actually prove it
Yeah,
before LoadProof.
yeah.
It was probably every couple of months they would say, hey, your shrink's over, this is how much you guys owe us, and it was usually roughly about $30,000 every
Wow,
couple of
man.
months.
Okay. Every couple of months. That's
um,
just alone
yeah,
on the inbound shrink alone, that is.
yeah, yeah.
Wow,
I mean,
man.
these
Okay. Yeah.
drivers, and it also actually it also in turn helped the vendors that are creating this product. They're starting to use dunnage in the trailers, so airbag straps, all that kind of stuff, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
which has been a help, which has been a huge
So
help with me
they are
keeping up.
doing, they're packing better, not only their boxes,
Yep.
pallets, they're also packing their trucks better, right? That is very useful for them. You guys, this feedback really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay.
So yeah, now we have no shrink on our inbound side. I mean, the only thing we have shrink on is in-house damages from drivers.
Yeah, that's
Accidentally
always
running
there.
into.
I mean, that's going to be, yeah, like wear and tear, right? That's going to be there. Okay, got it. Then, great, great. And would you recommend LoadProof to someone else that is, in your role? Uh, you know,
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been, like I was saying, it's been a huge help for not just us but our customers.
yeah,
The customer absolutely loves this idea, and they're trying to get some of their other 3PLs to
to
start
that.
using this as well. So
Okay, okay, okay.
it's been great.
Perfect, perfect. I mean, thank you very much for the time. I mean, that's all. That's all. I have. I mean, we have a couple more products. We have actually. Right now, right? You have to go to the, your computer and then look up the photos. We have developed an app that you can just take it from your mobile device. You can, from your mobile device, you can look at the photos and share. I'll send the link, and we are giving it away for free. You guys can play with it, use it. That'll be. You can even. I don't know if you guys have it on your personal device. You can have that too, right? If you can just download it and then find the loads very, very quickly. Even if some in a meeting or something like that where you don't have your laptop or computer or something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. I mean, thank you very much for the feedback, and this is what we strive for, right? At the end of the day, right? We want to make sure we provide a really, really nice tool for you guys. And anything else that you would like to add? Hey, maybe this one might be helpful. This one might be helpful. Anything like that?
Can't think anything. I mean, it's just like I said before. It's very very user friendly, which
Yeah.
is awesome, especially for some of the associates that we have. They're not very
Not the,
technologically
yeah,
inclined.
yeah, yeah. And
They don't have any issues, so it's been great.
okay, great, great, fantastic. I mean, thank you very much for your time, and I'll end the call from here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.